Hello, class. This short lecture will outline the marketing plan. And also we're going to look at a concept called the persona, which reflects a key target segment of the audience that are part of the project. So stand by, here we go. First of all, we're going to look at the marketing plan elements. But before we go there, we want to focus on market research. And all businesses should, before they get into a business, or if they want to reposition what they currently offer, need to conduct market research. You notice it's the first major part of the marketing plan. That's for good reason. If you were going to present your marketing plan, let's say to an investor, they would want to see how well you know your market, how well you know your audience, how well you know your competition. So we start with secondary research, which really is available research to us now. So you can access this information. We can use Google Trends, which we'll be talking about in class, where you can look at current sales industry. You can look at suppliers in the industry, who the customers are there, and why they buy what they buy, and also what the product, what's out there now, and what your competition is offering. These are all elements that you can assess without formal surveys and focus groups, things like that. You can access this information. However, primary research is where you have to go into the marketplace and conduct research. So this is what we're going to be doing in class. We're going to for our team projects, which we'll get into a little bit later. Now, number two, after the we conduct market research. Number two, the second element of the marketing plan is to identify our target audiences. And we do that through the development of what we call the persona. The persona is a character that represents an audience, that represents part of our audience. Like, for example, if you had a coffee shop near the university, part of your target audience, you could have a persona. You could develop a persona based on a student or based on two students, male and female students. That could be one of your target audiences you would build a persona for. Now, you could also build a persona for local business people who will be using the coffee shop, and perhaps retired people that are using the coffee shop. So we have you could develop three different personas. And what a persona is, it's a character we develop. And Sally Ho is not actually, well, this is a real person, but it's just, we borrowed the image from online. And it's a real person, but this person represents this target audience we're focused on. And this is a persona we built with a little more sophisticated program we call Extensio. I'll be showing you that later. I have a real simple approach to this and a more sophisticated approach. This is the more sophisticated approach. So, but you're welcome to use either one in this exercise. And that's one of the things we're going to be doing for this first workshop, is developing a persona. Each person should develop one for a key target group that uses your product or service. And then the product or service, we describe, number three in the marketing plan, we describe the product, and then how does it relate to the market? What does the market need? Does it offer what the market needs? And could it be your unique value proposition? You go, what's that? Well, the unique value proposition is what differentiates your business from all the other ones out there. That's what the unique value proposition. We're going to assess that in this class. Then number 4, we're going to be looking at the competition, and we're going to be rolling these out through the coming weeks. So we're just going to take these one bite at a time, but we're going to consider the competition, and so that's going to be something we're going to be focused on. We're going to build what we call a product positioning map to really get a look at the competition. Number 5 in the marketing plan, the 5th element, which we will handle in week 3 or 4, right around there, is the marketing strategies. And we're going to be looking at, how do we promote actually, this might be week 5, but anyway, we're going to be looking at how we promote the business. How do we communicate what we have to the audience, to our different target audiences, the different segments that we're focused on. And then, we're going to be focused on the unique value proposition, which we will go over later as well. So this short lecture is kind of showing you what you're going to be seeing in the course and what we're going to be doing. And so, part of the marketing strategy, for promotion is we network, we go to trade shows, perhaps not. Some businesses, most of the marketing budget goes to trade shows. We consider traditional marketing communication strategies like print media, electronic media, the ones we are used to from years gone by. But then we also look at online promotional strategies with search engine marketing, search engine optimization, pay-per-click, things like that. And then is personal selling involved? Personal selling is usually you have a B2B or be it business to business opportunity. Usually personal selling is involved with that. Otherwise, we're using B2C, business to consumer. So that's really what we're going to be focusing more in this class, because it's a better model to emulate, if you will. And then we look at number 6 is we price the product, we position it, and we brand it. So we've collected, we know who our customer is, we know who our ideal customer groups are, if you will, based on the personas. We know the competition, we've analyzed that. And then we look at how do we price the product. There's a strategy in pricing too we'll be going over. Do we want to be the low-cost leader? Do we want to be competitive? Or are we going to go at a higher price with higher value? So, and this number 7 is, we have to have a budget. You can't just have an unlimited budget, especially if you're a small company, and we talk about that. And then when we look at the traditional marketing plan, we set goals, and what is that? How many customers do we expect to gain per month, per week, per month? And we set goals based around that. And we set goals based on sales, profits, customer satisfaction. We'll be looking at that later in the course. And then we monitor results, and we survey. So we want to see if we're doing the right thing. So we will survey our customers once the marketing plan is being executed to see if it's working. We track sales, follow leads, and track leads. We look at visitors to the website, and we look at Google analytics for that, for our website. And then the percent of sales to impressions, like how many people buy the product that have seen the product or we make those impressions. Now, I just want to go over this one more time. This was the persona using we call it extensio. It's more of a sophisticated model, and it's really it's a really good thing. I mean, I like it because it allows us to express who the customer is, or who the ideal target market is. There's one mistake here. Usually in a persona, we put an age range. We go like 21 to 27 years old, something like that. We don't say 21 because that narrows it too much. So Sally is going to represent a larger group than just people 21 years old. We can derive this from some informal research we can conduct, and so this is a good tool. If you go there, the only catch to Extensio, and I'm going to show you how to get there, is it is a catch, and the catch is that you can only use it one time. Then you have to pay for it. So it'll allow you to build a model. Then you can screenshot it, and you've got it. But then the next time you want to use it, you have to pay a subscription, like $10 a month or something like that. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes not. So, and this is the other model I have. It's actually a Microsoft Word model, and it does pretty much the same things, but it's very much of a simplified. So we have the person's name here. All these cells in the live Word file are changeable, but we always want to put demographics and psychographics in. Demographics are what the consumer is, or we call her Gabrielle, and we put in something that she would be known for, like a saying she would have, helps personalize her. We put her age range in: female, married, bachelor's degree, LA County, and this is what she is. But who she is psychographics. Psychographics represent what is important to her, what value she has. So she values convenience. She values social interactions. She likes to be around people. She values, along with convenience, she values time with family, and she likes to buy local. So these are things that are valuable to her. These psychographics separate, help define this target audience here, Gabriella, who represents females 35 to 42. Helps define it, because demographics are important because it reflects if you could be a target audience, but part of the target audience. But psychographics determine if you will be part of the target audience based on your values. Then sometimes use of technology is important. If you want to change something else, you can just click on this and change it in the live file. We like to put social media because that sometimes is important. And we like to do this through images, not just through words. So we have Whole Foods, Apple, and Nike. She's loyal to these brands. The question is, why do we have personas in the first place? Why? And the answer is, in the old days in marketing, what we would have is data sheets. We would have sheets that, like, from a flip chart, and we would get together in meetings and we would sketch out demographics and psychographics of the target audience. We didn't have a picture, we just had data on a sheet of paper, and we tried to describe a person that we try to describe the target audience, whoever it is, students or older people or whatever. But with the persona, the concept comes to life. We personalize it. Now, when we look at Gabriella, we're looking at a real a character, a fictitious person, but still a person to us. And so it's easier to deal with something like this than it is a bunch of data on a sheet written with a felt pen. So this is why we use personas, and they're very commonly used in the marketing field. You have to know what a persona is to use them to be effective marketing. Okay, so that's that. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to go to the classroom. And so we're in week 1, and here's the objectives for the week. And this is an asynchronous week, which means you can check in and do the work anytime. And in week 2, we're going to be in person on October 20th in person. So this is a hybrid class. We do part of the class online, part of it in person. So we're going to have the this recorded lecture here. Here's the slides you're going to have. You can click on the slides if you want to go back and review anything I just showed you. You'll see the recorded lecture right above this when I publish it. In week one, we have readings and videos we invite you to look at. This is something that I'm going, once I see everyone who's going to be in the class, I'm going to assign you to a team. And I'm going to do it randomly. So I don't like necessarily friends being with other friends. I'd rather have you learn from other people that maybe you don't know in the class. So I'm going to set up some teams, and you're going to have I'm going to give you a project based on a real local business near the university. So I've done this before, it does work. Here's the, I'm going to ask them, once you get involved in the team, once I've assigned you I'm going to send an announcement with the teams in it. Once we've done that, I'm going to rely on you guys to collaborate with each other. And I'm going to want you to do that before week 2. And so this is a forum that you can click into, and you can say, hey, I'm on team 1, I'm in the Veros coffee team, and I was assigned team 1. I'd like everyone else on the team to join me here. And then what I'd like you guys to do is start a Google Slides presentation. The reason is because there's 2 things you're going to need to do for week 1. And one of them is to start a presentation, invite each other to it. Just kind of skipping around here. I clicked the wrong thing. And so, invite each other to it. And then, one person usually works best if one person takes the lead and kind of starts a Google Slides presentation and invites the other team members to it. Okay. And so here's the project. And you notice here's all the things that are going to be in the project. But you notice only 2 things are highlighted. That's what we're going to do this week. So in this week, we basically start the Google Slides presentation and have one person start it, invite the other people to the presentation. And then you're going to all part of the assignment this week is you're going to do 2 things at once here. So I'm going to go back. So you're going to build a persona. Each person on the team will develop a persona that represents a target audience for the for your class or for your team project. And so each student will develop a persona that reflects a key segment in your project, for your project. So again, if it's coffee shop, it might be students, it might be business people, it might be older people. So you're going to be looking at trying to define a key market segment. I need you to all agree on that, and then for the team to assign each person in the team to develop one of those personas. Then each person submits the persona to this assignment. And I remember we looked at 2 different ones. This is the Word doc, which is real simple to use. And then this is the Extensio platform, which is also interesting. I'm going to go there right now and kind of show you. If you look at, templates, what they offer here, choose a template to get started. No accounters are required yet. Okay. Let's see, here's the persona. So you click on that, and then you can different personas, you can play with those. It's interesting, it's a cool way to do it. Put your own picture, put your picture in there of your target audience. And they have different things you can move and change if you don't like it. Just make sure that you use demographics and psychographics as two area elements in the persona. Have to have those. And this is already, again, if you want the simple path of least resistance, you can go to the Word doc and download that and customize that. Then what you do is you submit that. Once you've customized it to what you want to do, submit it to the assignment. And then what you're going to see then is it's worth 5 points. So it's the first assignment of the class. This is where you can collaborate with each other. You can just go ahead and post something in there. You can post, say, hey, I'm in team 1, Veros Coffee. I'm not sure if Veros Coffee is going to be the one, but please join me here or something like that. And then everybody can kind of collaborate and exchange email addresses, things like that. Okay. I'd like you to get started on that this week before next week, because by next week, I don't want to have to look backwards too much. Next week, we're going to be focused on market research. So I don't want you to have to look backwards for that. So if you have any questions, you can go to, let's see, it's got my email address here. It's got a little bit about me. If you have questions, anything, other kind of questions, you can post them here, or you can post them directly to me via my email. Other than that, I look forward to working with you all, and stand by for some announcements. Again, this first week is asynchronous. You can work as much as you want during the week. You can do it all one day or space it out. But then in week 2, we go back to the in-person model. And then there's going to be other weeks where we're going to use asynchronous learning or just online learning. So I will direct you on that as we go. Stand by for the announcements. And I hope that all makes sense. And I know there's a lot to do, a lot to look at. So I look forward to working with you guys in the class, and see you later.